Yeah. Yo, all I need is one God, one life, and one mic, one booth. So I can teach the whole world this one truth. One Father, one Son, one Spirit, one book. My King James, one rod with the right hook casting. 1 24-hour period of fasting. A day to atone for life everlasting. 110 in the wilderness being chivalrous. 2 knees down in the dirt begging forgiveness. 1 fire to keep warm. 1 scripture daily so I can read and weather the storm. 1 magnificent power. 1 hour to let it rain down meteor showers. 1 kiss from 1 wife, plus 1 hug from 1 son. Together created 1 life, 1 soul out of a dozen. 1 chance to see my father and tell him I love him. 1 beginning and 1 end. 2 paths, 1 for righteous and 1 for sin. It's up to you, the one that you pick. So pick wise. The highest wrath, though his love is the prize. Churches keep trying to bury the law, but your eyes are wide shut if you don't see that their teachers are flawed. For this reason we fell off balance. The trees in was malice. Preachers feed but can't feel their palace. Demonic rituals, sexual visuals, equals godless lives for lawless individuals. Murder was the case that they gave us. You can't save us. Who do you trust? Lust? All I need is one God. A highest his name. All I need is one God. Know what I mean? You pray to who you pray to. All I need is one God. Hands up. A highest his name. All I need is one God. You know what I'm saying? We gon' keep it going. And there will be no rapture. The Jesuits tricked you, fooled you with philosophies, tricking you with scriptures. Got you thinking Christ is coming back 3 times, so you gon' live up in the cloud while we suffer for a time. Read first, show me a chapter and verse. The only way you're floating is when you're riding in a hearse. Matthew 24 and 36, read through 41. Answer no one, none is taken but the wicked one. Fornication, lover ones, murder, death causing ones, child abusers, abortionists, crooked ones. Who's the strongest, the starter or the finisher? Who's the weakest, the punish or the punisher? Time to gather the lost sheep, prepare to flee. Suck up his spirits, got brothers succumbing in their sleep. Keep praising the Most High, he never lied. Repent and live or sin and die. One God. A highest his name. All I need is one God. Know what I'm saying? You pray to who you pray to. All I need is one God. That's real talk. A highest his name. All I need is one God. Know what I'm saying? All praises to a higher by Shem Yeshaya Warawakadash. In the beginning there was 3 that bear witness to creation. Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. And together those 3 are one. They move as one, cause they are one. You know what I'm saying? But we pray to a higher in Yeshaya's name. Peace. Pray on.
Listening to a 3M.
Tell the enemies just don't try. You can't scare me and that's no lie. I'm fearing it's the most high. Got me screaming all night. Holy Spirit God in my life. And everything I do is in Christ. You don't scare me with sheesh. Look who I'm standing with.
Okay. You can't scare me, I'm a stone cold believer. I'm searching for the throne, call me golden retriever. Pouring living water down on the damned, I'm a beaver. Got the enemy running like the 7 sons of Sceva. So what can you scare me with? When my spirit is a full-blood pit, or you done been got bit. Tell the DJ to run his hit, watch out Sharala have a true praise fit. Got us hollering out, not today Satan, and not tomorrow. The last is gonna be first and we'll in and never borrow. Get led into the kingdom where we shedding all the sorrow. Yeah, you know my brother, but you about to learn about me hollow, That's word of Christ to Hamashiach. And to the Father that descend him, we just waiting for the mic to drop. No weapon form you cannot kill me with. Don't know who you think you scaring, you must don't see who I'm standing with.
Scare me with. Look who I'm standing with. Tell the enemies just don't try. You can't scare me and that's no lie. I'm fearing it's the most high. Got me screaming all night. Holy Spirit God in my life. And everything I do is in Christ. You don't scare me with.
What can you scare me with? cause you's a nothing. And nothing does nothing, so it must be something about me. Why you tryna dig a ditch 6 feet deep? Dead to the world, now these bones don't sleep. Sitting at the table where these bones gon' be. Feel it in your heart, no disciple can't preach. Standing shoulder to shoulder, how far is your reach? Yeah, how sharp is your teeth? It's obvious that they don't know nothing about me. Gotta backtrack so they don't think I'm frontin'. Got the daily bread, trying to take it to the luncheon. Showing up hollow so they can call me pumpkin. What is you eating? Is it greed or fear? American dream is more like a nightmare. The honey be sweet if they can keep you unaware, but he don't put nothing on us that we can't bear.
Don't scare me with. No, I won't be defeated. Look who I'm standing with. Look who I'm standing with. Tell the enemy just don't try. You can't scare me and that's no lie. I'm fearless the most high. Got me screaming all night. Holy Spirit God in my life, and everything I do is in Christ. You don't scare me with. You don't scare me with. I got you. Look who I'm standing with.
Well, here you come with all that whoop-de-whoop. If God is for us, brother, who is you? You better give the clue. We worship him in spirit and in truth, so all you lessons, we ain't scared of you. Well, here you come with all that whoop-de-whoop. If God is for us, brother, who is you? You better give the clue. We worship him in spirit and in truth, so all you lessons, we ain't scared of you. That's right.
No weapon formed. There's no weapon formed. No, no. Against us. As long as we stay together, yeah, shall prosper. Look who we're standing with. Look who we're standing with. Look who we're standing with. No weapon formed. We won't be defeated. No. Against us. As long as we stay together, yeah, shall prosper. Look who we're standing with. Look who we're standing with. Look who we're standing with. So who you gon' stand me with?
Yeah. See the house of Ayo Ben Yahoo was representing thick in that video.
You know what? All praises, man. All praises to the Most High for that.
Indeed, indeed.
That happened, man.
Solid brother, man. Solid brother. Talk to him, man. And that brother was still, last time I talked to him, he was still on a high from the F3 Friends Stuff Family event, you know. And I can understand why. Looked like they had so much fun shooting that video.
Man, it was amazing to see to stand back, to stand back as an artist and watch them three, watch the ministers' music, monologues, Amar Yasharel and Yapa, like to stand back, watch them minister, like they weren't performing and like they was doing the video, like just the ambiance of the whole weekend. You could just see the ruach on them. They were just, not only were they having fun, but they were there ministering. And it just fed off to everybody that cameos in the video. Like my daughter's dancing, like everything just fed off in the ruach, and the Most High was just in the building. So yeah, man, that, you know, to sit as an artist, to sit back and watch that.
I can imagine. Just to see someone in your craft do what it is that they do, I can imagine what it felt like. But it's a beautiful video. Beautiful video. I was waiting for it to, you know, to drop, man, and it did not disappoint. I see some new names. I see some new names in the chat. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe, and welcome to the Truth Be Told Flex Podcast. The Light Hebrew Magazine. We want to say shalom, Miss Mono. We want to say shalom exactly to you as well. And to our regular family, we would like to say shalom. Thank y'all for being here. We got a great show lined up. It's called The Land Grab. We're gonna talk about, you know, we got Hawaii on the docket. We got Biden on the docket, you know, and so you know how we do it. But before we get to, you know, to business, something Safa, he sent me that text message that I sent to you about India making the first crude oil payment to the UAE, which is the United Arab Emirates. And in the Indian Ruby. Man, that's huge. That's huge. Anybody who been following our show know that we talk about currency a lot on here. We talk about we go into the history of money. We go into the Federal Reserves, how they came about, how the money is not backed up with gold anymore since 1933 because of Franklin Delano Roosevelt. And something that they did in 1971, which I believe was under the administration of Nixon, which was they made a deal with the Saudis in that crude oil could not be bought with nothing other than the Federal Reserve. And it was at that time that they termed the name the petrodollar. It was no longer right. It was no longer backed by gold, but what made it the strength is that if you wanted crude oil, you had to buy it in dollars, which made the other nations start scrambling on how they was going to be able to start getting dollars. And we've talked about the BRIC nations, which is what? Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, right? And how they're coming together to try to knock the dollar down. No one is talking about the devaluing of the dollar in the news, really, but you could tell that the dollar is losing its steam just by looking at the price of gas right now. They're not even talking about it.
Right.
And normally during this time of the year, which is election year, gas prices start going down.
Yeah. Yeah.
They start dropping.
Yeah, so we're already starting to see the effect that so when we hear about it on the news about the BRICS buying the oil from India and the rupee and not the US backed dollar, we get it late. So they could have actually done that like a month ago, 45 days ago.
Right.
And so now that's why you start
Great
to see
point.
the gas. You're starting to see the gas.
Great point.
Now, because that was done, they didn't want you to freak out. So now they tell you, so you kind of just all gloss over it. NFL preseason coming on. Let me look at that.
But how they told us, because that's an article that's not from one of our publications. So they still really haven't told us.
Right. Safar probably had to dig for that, and it caught his eye. Was like, oh, let me send this to share, and then boom, here we are. Here you are sharing it with the people. So yeah, man, I just wanted to throw that in there real quick.
Oh, nah, that was great information, man, because what you're saying is absolutely right. Because if that was something that just happened like a week ago, and I think if you looked at the article, I believe the article is not even a week old right now. I think the article
the 4th or the 7th, something like that.
Yeah.
That's 9th, 7th, something like that. I looked at it earlier.
On the 14th.
14th.
The 14th, 2 days
Monday.
ago.
Yeah, that's just Monday.
That's not something that just happened Monday.
Right.
There's no way that it could have just, because there's no way that we would feel the effects of that deal from just 2 days ago. That's something that has happened, which brings up another thought. I'm glad you brought that up. There's no telling what's happening today that's going to affect us a week from now or a month from now. You see? And the crazy thing about this is that we, as consumers, we go to Walmart or whatever store it is that we go to, and we look at prices. We can tell the prices are going up, and we be like, why is that going up? That's because your dollar is losing value.
Right.
It take more dollars to buy stuff now.
Right.
Exactly. Right. Because with the gas prices going up, they normally say, well, it's going up because there's a shortage of crude oil. You haven't heard them say that.
Right.
They have, matter of fact, they've been silent. Yeah, they've been silent. And the reason why is because the dollar is losing its steam. It's taking more dollar. If they buying crude oil in rupees,
right?
Saudis will say, we gonna sell you that same amount of crude exactly for this much.
We can buy more barrels for less money when the average price of an American barrel to United Arab Emirates, to Saudi Arabia, to Qatar, Sudan is $82 to $102 a barrel for 30 barrels. Now you can buy it in the rupee. You can buy 80 barrels for less or more money within that span, which increases their value. So then they take that money, that they just got from you buying oil and buy some of your imports. So the money is just how it always been. It's going back and forth. Just they have more value.
They got
While
more
the dollar
value.
is not being used and losing value.
Exactly. So if it's going to cost more money to buy crude oil, it's going to cost more money to buy everything else.
Right.
Because this is how this stuff is being transported. Well, that means that now, you know, it's going to cost more to ship it. It's going to cost more on the planes. It's going to cost more on the vessels. It's going to cost more on the trains, which means by the time it reached the store, where a loaf of bread was $2 and something,
Right.
you subject to be paying $6-8 for a loaf of bread.
That's because whatever distributor you buy it from, or supplier, Walmart, Food Line, Piggly Wiggly, Ingles, they're having to pay the $3 or $4 markup per bread loaf, or $1 million more, just to get it in the store where they were paying only this amount of money.
Right.
Now they have to mark you up and charge you because you're able to walk in their establishment and get.
They're not going to take a loss.
Right. They say, well, we got to pay our workers. We can't just leave everybody, or the bread won't make it off the pallet. So it's
if you think back to when they had us on lockdown, I know it was like this a lot here in Texas. I don't know about in the Carolinas and where the rest of the family is at. A lot of people was complaining when they was going to like fast food restaurants and they didn't want to give condiments, you know. You darn near had to fight them just to get ketchup. We so used to, you know, going to, you know, wherever it is you go get your fries and they'll give you a handful of ketchup. So what people was not realizing is that it was costing these restaurants more.
Yes.
To get these we just looking at them as packets of ketchup. We just looking at them as plastic forks. We just looking. You even had problems getting napkins in some places. It was costing those restaurants more to get those things, so therefore they was reluctant in giving them to the customers. You know, because like you said, you made an excellent point, yo. The employees got to get paid. The employees got to get paid. So this is how all of this recession and interest rates and all of this stuff happens, is that it becomes too expensive to run a business. So now we got to lay people off. That's where the layouts come. And then when people get laid off, now they can't afford their cost of living. People can't afford their cost of living. Now stuff start getting ugly. So India making its first crude oil payment to UAE, the United Arab. How you say that E word again, Ayo?
Emirates.
There you go, Emirates.
You got it out.
To the United, right? And they bought it in Indian rupees. That's huge, people. That is huge.
It's huge. The world has always used the U.S. American dollar to buy crude oil.
Exactly.
And that's the actual oil you got to have to make the gas. The oil, that crude oil is the foundation of the petroleum and the corn and all that.
That's all of it.
And then they got to pay to ship it to Quick Trip and Valero gas stations, Exxon, Texaco. So that crude oil is the foundation of the gas that's made, and it's always been bought since the 50s and 60s with the U.S. dollar. But now with the Indian rupee. But
what's crazy though is that here in America we have enough crude oil to supply us that we don't even need to buy it.
Right.
So that goes to show you the greed that America have, and this was their way of controlling the world. Right. This was their way of controlling the world. Through that pact that they made back in 1971, that Richard Nixon made back in 1971 with the Saudis, right? But ever since then, those nations have been trying their best to get from up under the knee of America, and it looked like they're coming together. So you asked the question, is there strength in numbers? Look at BRICS. Now BRICS just mean Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. But little do people know 14 other nations have asked to sign on to BRICS.
I know. Yep. And so when that actually happens, So, yeah. So
Yeah.
go ahead, Doc. I ain't mean to, yeah. Go ahead.
Nah, you good. You absolutely, yeah, you good. When that actually happened, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying when that actually happens, you're already. I mean, like we just said, like the word talks about, it'll take a whole day's worth of salary to buy bread, grain, rice, mashed potatoes. That ain't even talking about the ingredients to make gravy for the rice or the mashed potatoes. You just gonna be doing good to get the mashed potatoes or rice and the bread. Like that's the cost of living is going to go up higher. But we'll talk about later on in the show. We got a segment of what their plan is going forward with these 15-minute cities to cut all of that out, and the government just give you the food and the lights
Thank you.
and the water and everything
Thank
you
you.
need. So that's what this is will eventually lead to.
So I'm glad you brought that up because you absolutely right. Because I was trying to figure out how to make this point, and you just actually helped me out with it. America is doing this intentionally. They pissing off these nations intentionally to get away from the fuel because they're trying to go what they call eco-friendly. They trying to go green. And so a lot of the things that they're doing like I live in Houston. Houston is a port city. We have all kind of oil refinery plants here. Lots of plants here. And a lot of the plant workers here in Houston, man, they like scratching their head because it's like, it's up 1 minute, then it's down the next, it's up 1 minute and it's down the next. But then you talking about that you want to get away from fuel, you want to get away from gas, and you want to go to electric, but in the same voice, you the same people that's saying that the grid can't hold the power. You know what I'm saying? So how is it that we're going to go all electric when you telling us that the grid can't hold the power? And this is another thing. This is something that people don't think about. Just think if how do they make electricity? They burn coal. Which is fuel. So even if all the cars became electric, yeah, you're not going to gas stations to get gas in your car, but you're going to have to stop at a charging port. Where you think that charging port getting this power is being made? This power is being made available. It's being made available still through coal. So, I mean, and this is one of the ways that you got to be able to see through, the deceit that these wicked people be doing in this world, man. And Miss Mono is right. BRICS is a growing organization, and America people should be shook because the government know what time it is. Yeah, the American people.
Yeah, and we'll get into the story later about what they got planned to say. Look, we smart. Look what we doing all across America to save on oil. We don't need barrels of oil no more. Look what we doing. We'll get into that later, but yeah, that they're gonna try to make it look like I said, they smart. We knew this was coming. We've been playing this down the road. Look at what we're able to do for our people. You can shut us out if you want to. We'll talk about that later. Like he's saying about the power grid and all that stuff. Yeah, it's woo.
Safa. Shalom.
Shalom, Mark.
Stay awake tonight. Love you, bruh. Love you, bruh.
Man, love you,
yeah, man. But another note too, man. Before we get to business, Tierra Young Allen, 29 years old, also known as Sassy Trucker. Her alias is what got her in trouble to begin with. Listen to her name, Sassy Trucker. Sassy Trucker. I don't know how long she was detained over there in Dubai, but she was over there long enough that I'm sure it scared the hell out of her.
Yeah.
All praises to the Most High. She's home. That she is home. But this should be a lesson for people who like to travel, who wants to travel, who wants to travel. Other nations don't play like America. Other nations do not play like America. Her name is Sassy Trucker, and I guess she wanted to live up to her name. I don't know if she let cuss words fly or not. I'm pretty sure that she did, but the main reason she got detained was that she was yelling at the people because she didn't have an understanding.
Right.
Those people don't play that over there.
They don't. Can't do that.
Just like if you travel domestically and you are a Second Amendment, gun carrier, you should always check the gun laws of every state that you go to.
Yep.
If you're going outside of these borders, you should always check the laws of where it is that you were going. This girl got locked up over there. Well, she was detained. I'm gonna put it that way. She couldn't come home. She only had to pay like $1,300 to come home. I thought that was relatively cheap.
But what she
for her
was,
to come home.
That's
that's pretty cheap, man.
I mean, only them countries you gotta pay pretty
right. Yeah, the laws over there are so different. Though the laws over there is that if you steal something with your right hand and you right-handed, you might as well get used to learning how to use your left hand for the rest of your life.
You about made me spit my coffee.
Cause it's gonna disappear. They don't play. It's gonna be gone. The laws exactly. They don't play, and that's the thing too. America has built this culture over here. Do women feel like that they can, talk and act and say whatever it is that they want to say, and everybody's supposed to stop what they doing and listen? Well, you went over there and you found out that, hey, them people can care less about you being a sassy trucker. In fact, we would appreciate if you was a more polite trucker, and you probably would not had any problem going home.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she got the getting sassy and clapping hands and hollering and carrying on. But put your hands behind your back. You come with us. They ain't. You're not about that life now. Do you say you're about that life?
Can you hear? You can't do that.
Yes, I can. I can do what I want. Come with us.
I'm an American.
You're an American. You're not an American anymore. You're silly Negro. Don't you know?
Do you know? Hey, she from Houston. I can hear her saying, "I'm from Fifth Ward."
Well, we have to take you to the sixth one. Come with us.
You don't know where I'm from.
Right. Put them hands behind your back, mister.
Right. I'm from South Park.
And we from the east side in the United States of the Arab world. You come with us.
Right.
Boy,
she humble now, boy. I done seen on the news a couple of times. She humble.
She didn't tell you that. What you say, trucker. I was humble trucker.
Yeah. She humble trucker.
We to make light of it. I'm glad she home because
most definitely
being detained in a whole different country. See, it's a mindset, y'all. When you're in the county jail, and not making light of being in the county or state prison, federal prison. I'm not making light. I'm just saying, have a sense of, okay, I'm still, if something happened, I can get to my house from wherever I'm at, right?
Or your family can get to you.
Or your family can get to you. But when you locked up and you thinking about a great gulf of water fixed in between you, that's a whole different mindset to be locked up somewhere. Is what I'm saying. So I'm glad she's home, but I'm sure, like you said something powerful. This is a learning lesson. Like Miss Mono had mentioned before, she said, as someone who started life in Europe, I can attest that Americans are unaware of other cultures and don't care to learn. That's right. That's what she's saying. Like, you from Fifth Ward in Houston, things that go down in the restaurant. You can get sassy with somebody on the internet over here, but you go over there, it's a little different. Like you said, you can't get over there or go buy a firearm to protect yourself when you get there and then get caught with it. Their laws about firearms and guns are different than here. It's a little different, y'all. So, I hope she has, this is a learning lesson because it's, it's different everywhere you go. So, I hope her and her family can look at this, and like us, they can sit and look and laugh now because it's behind them.
Right.
Learn, and she can, And
Right.
hey, the Most High will if you don't humble yourself, He will humble you.
There is a way of getting humbled.
Yes,
Yeah,
there's a way
most definitely.
of getting
Yeah,
humbled.
you will be humbled. Yo,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
most
Yes, sir.
definitely. Most definitely. But yeah, so that's that, man. Open up the show. Something to
All
keep your
praise.
eyes on. What's happening over there in the east in the crude oil, how it's being traded. Um, Goes to show you that they don't care that much about the dollar anymore. And welcome home, Tierra Young.
Come on, sister.
Welcome home, sister. Yeah, glad to have you back on American soil. What we got, my man? What we got?
Oh, beyond critical race theory segment. We're gonna switch gears a little bit this week. We normally, we've been doing the donkey of the week. We've also had on this day segments. But we gonna switch it up, man. This is a positive one. This as a father, as an Israelite brother, um, this touched home and made me really happy and joyous to see this. But because the mainstream media is not talking about this, and over here in the schools, in the classrooms, and some of our communities, we're talking about it. But I know in a lot of other communities, they are not talking about this right here. But I'm gonna share the screen with you and see if you could. Um, y'all see them babies right there, man? So this right here, you're looking at three Israelite kids have the highest IQs in the world, y'all. That's right,
Hmm.
the world. Okay, so I got an article from
Three Israelite
three
babies.
Israelite babies, yo, like this, and you see them, the smile boy, that little sister on the end. I can already tell her personality, man. She gonna give them folks the business.
Right, right.
Man, when I saw this graphic and this picture, man, it really touched me. And I was like, I gotta talk about this once
Right.
again because none of the mainstream media, they're just not talking about it. They're not talking about it. So this is from the blackmaverick.com on August 7th. This is recent. So it says that surpassing the IQs of well-known geniuses Bill Gates, Albert Einstein, and Isaac Newton. Three
Hmm.
Israelite kids, Ramarni Wilford, Anala Beavers, and Alana George, currently have the highest IQs in the world. Mensa is a non-profit high IQ society. To qualify for Mensa, one must score in the upper 2% on an approved intelligence test. Now, remember, these tests is really not built for us. The standardized testing, and this is why it touched me because they aced it. Not only did they ace it, I'm
Thanks.
pretty sure when the people were scoring this test, they was probably like, "Oh my gosh."
Right.
Anyway, let's keep going. It said the society provides its members with diverse and exciting opportunities for social, cultural, and intellectual interaction. Mensa.org. Thanks to this society, it is impossible to know the high IQs of people across the world, regardless of age, race, religion, or political stance. British teen Ramarni Wilford, she's in the middle, scored an IQ of 162, higher than Einstein and Gates. I'm sorry, this is the little guy. He has hopes of attending Oxford University and becoming an astrophysicist.
Hmm.
At 4 years old, New Orleans native Anala Beavers scored over 145 on her IQ test. Listen to this. She could identify and point out letters of the alphabet by 10 months, recite numbers in English and Spanish by 18 months, and by the age of 5, she could recite every U.S. capital and its state, every state and its capital. As of now,
Wow.
that blew my mind right there. As of now, she's
Wow.
focused on the names of planets and dinosaurs, or the stars and dinosaurs. Alana George, on the end, 4-year old from the UK, she scored a 140 on her intelligence test. Her fascination is with words and numbers. typically we learn to read because someone teaches us, but this young genius taught herself how to read before she started school. Currently, her preference is saying the alphabet and the times tables. So yeah, short and sweet article, man, from the blackmaverick.com. You can find that article while the
Wow.
world is studying and we worried about the 50 years of hip hop, the show that just happened, Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion, and Usher and Kiki Palmer making a song about her ex-boyfriend. This is what's going on right now.
Man, so disrespectful.
Right. That's the
Yeah.
headlines that are dominating. Nobody's talking about this. So I said the Truth Be Told Flex podcast. It's a short and sweet article. We're going to talk about this. But like I said, man, take a good look at these three babies right here, because in the coming years, y'all willing, uh, hey, hopefully their parents can learn and come into the truth. And these young babies come into this marvelous light, and we'll
Facts.
have, you know, these babies need to know their culture and their heritage. All praises. So yeah, man. Um, Ramarni Wilford, Anala Beavers, and Alana George, salute to you. And y'all
I'm gonna
willing.
add that
Keep going.
article when the show is over with. Text me that article because I want
Yes,
to add
sir.
it to the description
Absolutely.
in the podcast. That's amazing. They're way smarter than me. I tell you
Yeah,
that,
man.
bro. Hey, don't ask, man. I barely know. I bet you I don't even know 3 states capitals.
I'm telling you. Boy, I'm telling you, at
I
the age
probably
of
be
40,
hard pressed giving you. I probably be hard. I probably wouldn't even be able to give you all 50 states.
I'm telling you, man, listen, to do that at the age of 4 and 5 years old, states and the capitals, man, listen, bro. They
Yeah,
showing out for the 99 and the 2000.
that's exactly what they're doing, and I love how you started your segment when you said that these standardized tests they're not made for
They're
us.
not
In
made for
fact,
that.
they was made to show that we don't have uh the brain
The
capacity
brain
to be
capacity.
able to
Come on, bro.
exactly. So that's why they was created. And so you have 3 Israelite babies that done scored the highest in the
Highest
world.
in the world. That's what it didn't say in the state. And the 99%, it's, bruh,
In the
three
world.
highest in the world.
Right.
Look at the Most High, what he doing, man.
So
Look at what he's showing.
that right there goes to show you that everything that they have said about us has been based off of lies. It's been
Right,
based off of lies, all simply
right.
because they had a hatred towards us for years. We was talking about this. Me and some fellas was talking about this just the other night. I think it was Saturday night. For years, the NFL kept Israelites from being quarterbacks because they said that we was not smart enough to be a quarterback,
Our IQ,
and our IQ was not high enough to be a quarterback. Well, if you look at the NFL now, you know it's quite a few black quarterbacks in the NFL, and you have many of them that's in college, and the reason is because that standing in the pocket white boy wasn't fast enough for them 6'3", 6'5", 250, 255-pound middle linebackers and outside linebackers that was coming at them. They needed to have something back there that was a little bit more athletic and mobile that would be able to move. But my point is that we didn't only get that position because we were more mobile. When you look at these quarterbacks, look at Jalen Hurts.
Yep,
That's a cerebral quarterback, man.
yep, yep,
You know,
yep.
Dante Culpepper back in the day, that was a
Oh, man.
cerebral quarterback, man.
Yep.
And it hated the NFL owners. It hated them that you had somebody back there that looked like you and I that could play this position, and they was smart at it, you know.
Smart at
And they was smart at it. So with these babies here, 162, 145, 140, you said something that was remarkable. You said that this baby taught herself how to read. How is that possible?
That was right.
How is that possible?
How did she know the words before adults would?
How did
Like that's herself.
you see?
Bro,
Right.
bro, I ain't gonna lie. When I just was reading this, bro, I was like, man,
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah.
I ain't want to get emotional, but
Right,
yeah,
right.
Because I'm a father. And I can
Exactly.
imagine their parents like, wait a minute, what you
Right.
just say? 4 times
Right.
what is what?
Right,
Like,
right.
you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, imagine
How do you
that.
know this?
How did you know
Exactly.
this?
At that age, and we see child prodigy, we see children prodigies all the time when it comes to music. You know, drums, horns, guitars, pianos, stuff.
It's yeah.
Right, we see that all the time. But this right here, this is a whole nother level right here. And we do need to give the Most High all praises for the demonstration that we are. We say it all the time on this show. What is this place without us anyway?
We the salt.
We the salt.
Listen, this is what I thought about that passage. We are the true salt. We are the true flavor. There is no.
In the words of Karatazar, we the Zataran.
We the Zataran.
We the Zataran.
Everything.
On everything.
On everything.
Everything.
So, you know,
exactly.
yeah, man, this really, you know, like I said, it was a change up from what we normally do. We teach on here. We go beyond the critical race theory, the things that they absolutely are trying to change the curriculum of that's taught in schools about our history. We go beyond that. We tell you what they don't want to tell you. So this one was most definitely just one of those ones that, like you said, you got to give all praise to the Most High.
Right.
In one way, he's not going to hold his tongue in judgment, but in a positive way to show his power and who his people are. It's going to be being stuff like this. They expect it in the sports arena. They expect it on the track and field. They expect it. But to expect it in the man, these babies might be teaching adults in 3 or 4 years.
That's facts. That's facts. That's facts. They not gonna be able to sit in regular classrooms. I tell you that. There's no way that they're gonna be able to sit in regular classrooms, man. No. They gonna drive a teacher bat crazy, man, sitting up in a regular class.
Get out.
Exactly. This is going to get to this first music break, man. Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Ayo Ben Yahoo for that Beyond Critical Race Theory. Let's get it.
Last days. Look, the kingdom ready, but the saints ain't. For saints' sake, I rain paint. Soul's my canvas, my praise ain't gonna discontinue. I put this in you, cause sin can send you straight to the bottomless pit, saying I wish I've been new. Yeah, but that's where I come in. A messenger, no ICQ, but that's how I'm running. Profit flow, swiping through them precepts. I lock and load, oxes quoting. Put it all down, the shop was closing. Righteous bars would've made position for the golden. Platinum, maybe now I need some action, baby. Fishing rods, seeking souls. And that kingdom spaces, I suppose. I let them know, set a tone, urging Al Capone. What in righteousness, thoughts like the alchemist. So positive, attracting gifts. Heavenly stature 6 and 12. That Ephesians brother, don't forget it. Hold praises, old praises. Heavenly Father, is it me? Or these the last days? I'm committed to doing the works. Now let's get to business. Without rebirth, no, this earth's your limit. Without no charity, it's just a gimmick. All I need is love made in his image. Set his kingdom over everything. We in it, ain't nothing, we ducking everything. Babylon defiled, doc. This that how to play the cards, doc. Yeah, that truth music vibe with me. Screaming Kwam Yasharala till the vibe lit, see. 12 tribes, 12 gates, 24 elders, needing y'all to relate. The walking dead all around, I'm praying they repent. Never knew the meaning of love till I was subject. Frowns from reality, your choices made them voices saved. Souls one at a time, I figure yours just made. The I'm stronger though, Bible really longer though. Apocrypha, your boy can sow. Reaping the torch I flow, and hope to wake the ones I love in spite of the ones I've dubbed. The parables I've read about love made me all about hugs. That charity, the energizer battery, whole law and them prophets fulfilled. I ain't flattering. It was written up in Matthew 22, verse 40. Now time to get this loot. Kingdom dollars, kingdom holler. That's Yasharala Barakatha, the water. Shalaram, prophet Tanakh and Palm. Finna wake the world up with knowledge bombs. Yeah, time to come together through Psalms and arms. Set his kingdom over everything. We in it, ain't nothing, we ducking everything. Babylon defiled, doc. This that how to play the cards, doc. Yeah, that truth music vibe with me. Screaming Kwam Yasharala till the vibe lit, see. 12 tribes, 12 gates, 24 elders, needing y'all to relate. 24 elders, needing y'all to relate. 12 tribes, 12 gates. my love.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was
man.
Hebrew Fresh with the last
Yeah.
days, the rebirth. But man, I like that. Man, that kind of reminded me of like Mob Deep back in the day. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Happy
Yeah.
Prodigy from New York back, and it kind of gave me that type of feel. But that was dope. I like that, man.
Right. It
Dope
gave
on
me
that.
a straight East Coast hip hop
Yeah, East Coast hip hop.
Nas. Yeah,
Big
exactly.
Nine,
Feel.
Mob
Yeah.
Deep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
that's
was
what it
dope,
gave me,
man.
man. Yeah.
That was dope, bro.
Yes, indeed, man. So, moving on, first topic. Biden wants new housing program for migrant families. Migrant families. Now, understand that these migrant families are illegals. So, and that's what I say, you know, not to get into a political conversation here, but when you get to talking about the left and the right and how they function, understanding that both of these wings are on the same bird. They're in exactly their end goal. Their end goal is the exact same thing, but before the people, they make it seem like they be at odds, right? But the left always want to give stuff away. It says that the Biden administration is asking Congress to approve a temporary housing program for migrant families that illegally cross the southern border, a plan that would give them more freedom than traditional detention. Exos has learned. It says why it matters. The government has struggled to balance humanitarian concerns, about detaining migrant children. And there they go again with the children. Understand this. I'm gonna stop right here because this is how they play with us. This is how they get us to go along with their ideas and their plans. Is that they bring in the children. When you think about school shootings, mass school shootings, what do they normally happen? They happen in schools. Why? Because they feel that we could get more done. We could get these laws pressed and done if we mess with the children. Remember that the height of COVID, you know, what was their biggest concern? The children. Same thing, exactly. So the same thing it is now is that they saying that, hey, you know, we got to do something for these children while enforcing immigration laws amid rise in families illegally crossing the border to seek asylum. Now, this is the point right here. And this is the first point. It says the administration is part of a $40 billion emergency funding request to Congress. The package includes nearly $2.7 billion for the Department of Homeland Security, various border efforts. $40 billion is what Biden is asking for to build facilities for illegal migrants. What are your thoughts on that, Ayo?
40 billion. Like
40 billion.
40 billion. Like that number is staggering.
With a B.
With a B. Like think about that. Let that sizzle in your spirit for 5 seconds.
With a B.
And think about that. 40 billion. Unlike Miss Mono, I agree. The Biden administration want to take care of the migrants and focus on their children, but not the people that are homeless citizens that
say who's gonna get to it. Come on, speak.
Great point, Miss Mono, because guess what? Before they was homeless for how many years? Guess what they paid to the government and was loyal? Their taxes.
That's right.
They paid taxes.
That's right.
So now you talk about detaining migrant children. Oh, and in this article, I have to find it. Okay, here it is. Another point I want to add and land back off of what you're saying. It says the Biden on top of the $40 billion, y'all. Now they done gave to, I don't even want to say, y'all know the war that's going on across the sea. They done gave, and the Congress done approved every time Biden go to get approved for Zelensky. I'll just say that the President Zelensky, they get the money to fund it,
Right.
right?
Right.
War,
Right.
You got the, like Ms. Mono just mentioned, you got the homeless situation in San Fran and New York and in Charlotte, North Carolina, Atlanta.
Here,
It's
here in
getting
Houston.
worse. Here in Houston, Dallas, it's getting worse. You also got the conversation about reparations.
That's right.
That's money that is actually owed, guys. That's money that's owed. We was talking yesterday. Y'all, everybody got a homeboy or homegirl that said they had to get their car fixed or had to buy some tickets to go somewhere. They borrowed $150 from you, $200 something, and then showed up at work with the new Air 11s on, the new J's.
Come on now.
And you was like, wait a minute, I thought you was gonna get your. Oh, I'm gonna wait till the next paycheck. Okay,
Right.
well, what about the money you owe me? You got the new
Right.
A's on?
Right.
So it's the same thing. It's not like African Americans or Israelites are asking for you to do something that's totally out of this realm. We're just asking back for the money. Oh, but you get 40 bill. Now here's the caveat. Here's the caveat, y'all. It says the Biden administration, listen how they talk in these articles. The Biden administration quietly ended detentions of migrant families in 2021 while wrapping up the use of tracking technology and check-ins
Come
by
on.
phone calls as families make their way through the immigration process. That alone will tell you, they just told, like I said, they always mess up. They always make a mistake. If y'all read these articles carefully, you can always see their agenda.
That's right.
Tracking technology.
That's
Oh,
right.
we're not going to keep you detained, but we're going to give you this phone and we're going to give you money to buy a house and build a house.
That's
We're going
right.
to give you money for a hotel and start a business. But take this phone so we can keep up with you every month. Just, tell us how your progress is going. Okay. They're tracking them.
They're
So,
tracking them.
When it comes time when this dollar fails, they ain't going to bring them over here for nothing.
That's
They're
right.
gonna their agenda build these 15-minute cities and have these immigrants now legal that went through the process and putting money back into the nation
That's right.
from other countries. So
That's right.
$40 billion.
That's right.
Tracking technology.
Yep.
It says they quietly ended. Of course, they're not gonna tell you what they're doing behind it because they got a different agenda. They quietly ended it in 2021. That's 2 years ago.
Yep.
And now all of a sudden, they
Yep.
building these $40 billion. And guess what's going to happen? Whether it's the debt ceiling, whether it's whatever, it's the election season, y'all. Congress will approve it. They're going to approve that $40 billion. Don't be
You know
surprised.
the crazy thing about it too, Ayob, is that we just got through talking about India making the first crude oil payment in rupees. And that whole conversation was talking about the collapsing of the dollar. We got to go to work for our dollars.
Gotta go to work.
Get up early in the morning to go make our money, to bring some type of money in. But when it comes to the government, all they got to do is print it. He's asking for $40 billion. Where is that $40 billion going to come from?
Where's it going to come from?
Where's that going to come from? They're going to print that $40 billion. They're going to print $40 billion on top of a dollar that's already oversaturated.
Right. It's already
They're going to print, I'm going to say that one more time. They're going to print $40 billion on top of a dollar that is already oversaturated. So if you ask me, are they seeking this place intentionally? Indubitably, they are. They know what they're doing. Everything that they're doing, there is an unseen hand behind it. Listen to what Ayob is saying. They've been talking about 15-minute cities for the longest. Now, there's another thing, too. We know that they're going to have FEMA camps.
Come on, bring it out, man.
We know that they're going to have FEMA camps. If you think that President, we're talking about President Biden in the early 90s that stood before Congress and dogged Black America out, called us all kind of thugs and gangsters and drug dealers and robbers and carjackers. They're going to rob your mother. They're going to rob your daughter. And I don't want them in my neighborhood. We should just lock them up. You think that same Joe Biden cares about an illegal immigrant that crossed the border, that he's going to go to Congress and ask for $40 billion to build? No.
Super predators. That's what he said.
He called us super predators.
Him and Hillary.
They
both did.
They called her everything that Hunter is.
Say it again. Say it.
They called us everything that Hunter Biden is. This dude is going to ask for $40 billion to make smart cities, to make energy efficient cities, to make cities to house Negroes up when you don't conform. That's what he's doing.
Like you said, just to land back real quick, we've talked about it before. How you think each district came about in the Hunger Games? They were showing you then.
That's right.
It's gonna be districts.
That's right.
And remember, the only district that had us in it was with every other district. At least they had grass and dirt and trees. Our district had concrete, bars, and barbed wire. Go back and look at the first movie. Go back and look at the first one.
Remind me this week, because the districts are already broke up. I got it somewhere. I'm gonna have to find it. So remind me this week as we go through this week to find those districts so I can bring that up next week. Yeah. I got the name. They got the districts. The districts have been broke up for years.
Yep. You're right.
They have been broke up for years. This what we are seeing is a movement that they have started, and people don't let this go over your head. This has been a plan for over 200 years. We seeing it come to a head right now.
Right now. And guess where we were 200 years ago?
Come on now.
Guess where we were? At that same time where we were at, the Star Spangled Banner was being written.
Exactly.
The July holiday was being founded.
Exactly.
Right? And what we mentioned before, and we didn't want to give it away, but we can bring it out now. This is what, we're smart. BRICS Nation, we can deter what they're trying to do to the dollar, so we don't need crude oil. Now we got 15-minute energy efficient cities.
Right.
Look at what we did for the American people. Look how we helped y'all out of this. We ain't helping Judah.
Exactly.
The tribe of Judah is the one we still suffering, bruh.
Exactly. Still suffering and gonna be suffering. And I want to go back to what Miss Mono said. Where is that comment at? That original comment that she had. Where is it at? When we first started talking about this here. I want to go back to that because you hit on it, and this is something that there it is, but can't forgive. Oh, well, that's one right there, and that's Yamai. Yamai. Yeah, Yamai. You could give $40 billion, but you can't forgive my daggone $10,000 student loan. Right. Exactly. And this is the point, right? I was talking to Ayob about this when I was bringing him this article, and I was saying, I say, this is one of those opportunities when frustration should be activated. Man. If there was ever a time when we get frustrated and we start acting foolish over stuff that we shouldn't, right? Like Tierra Young and Dubois. You frustrated because you don't think that they treat you right at the car rental place, right? So you get detained, right? This is the time. Look, you go into Congress and ask $40 billion. Have you seen? I seen Phil Ward. The first time I saw Phil Ward, I came home and told my wife, I said, and they got this sign out there too. When you go up at Phil Ward, there's this sign that says, "Welcome to Phil Ward." Like it's something to be proud of. Well, I came home and told my wife, I said, man, they need to demo that joker. And I'm sure the Carolinas got hoods that's like that. Man. I know what South Dallas look like. See?
Yeah.
There are areas up under 45 here in Houston where it's so many homeless people that you can smell the piss when your windows is down on your. So you gonna go ask for $40 billion when you got issues in your own house? Yep. That's like me living in this house, right? We can't pay a light bill. We having problem paying our rent. We having problems keeping insurance on the vehicles. But I got a homeboy over here that needs some money, and instead of me putting money in my house, I'm gonna take my money and I'm gonna go help my homeboy because I don't want to leave him stuck out.
Right. See, great analogy, y'all. Great analogy, and that's what's happening. He won't take care of home. You will invest money in other countries, what they got going on, but at home, instead of helping immigrants, you might want to take care of Judah first.
Exactly.
But when Judah asked for what's, like I said, it ain't like we're saying, "Oh, give us some money." We're just saying, "Pay us what is owed." But they but they know that the money that we're owed, they couldn't print enough money.
Man, they couldn't print enough.
That's why the Most High saying recompense.
Exactly.
I'll throw this recompense back on your own head.
Exactly.
Enough money you can pay my people.
Exactly. Exactly.
Definitely in Charlotte, Delahaye Courts, Tryon Hills, Beatties Ford Road. I used to live on Beatties Ford Road. And when Keith Lamont Scott got shot by the police when he was unarmed, they marched on Beatties Ford. And I'm telling you, we had to stay in the house. So, like, I know Houston 5th Ward, Delahaye Courts, Beatties Ford Road, and Charlotte, Pork and Beans in Miami.
In Miami, yeah.
Man, listen, man. Up in New York, I done been in them tenement buildings in Staten Island, and like you said, you talking about smelling pee on the elevator,
right?
Bro, it's those conditions, and you give them 40 bill to,
and you giving 40 bill over here. You dig what I'm saying? You giving 40 bill over for some migrant, and then you only offering $700 to the families that done lost everything in Maui. We gonna get to that. We gonna get to that next. Man. But you only $700 to each family in Maui. What is $700? And we go to this music break, y'all. Man. Somebody tell me in the chat, what can $700 do in Hawaii?
Did you see that place? That place look like a nuclear bomb hit it, man.
Man, that place look like a nuclear bomb. That place looked like what is it? Where was Gaddafi at? What's the name of Gaddafi? What was Libya after America went through there.
Yeah, man, that joint look. Yeah, it's such an insult. Like Miss Mono said, it's $700.
$700. But yet you give all of these billions to these blonde-haired, blue-eyed Ukrainians.
Bro, that and
not only did you give billions to them, you was even telling American people to open up their homes for them, right? Open up the homes for the refugee. But when Haiti needed help, you told them you had your supposed to be black vice president tell them don't even think about coming over here.
Don't even think about it. Stay off from over here. That's what she said.
That's what she said. Don't even think about coming over. That was the last word she said. I ain't heard her in front of Mike since then.
I ain't heard from her since.
I ain't heard from her since. Let's go to this next music break. What we got?
Let's see. Oh, we got my man,
Travis Snipes. Job's story.
Let's get it.
Yeah, let's get it. This off his new one, Vexed.
If I ain't got a dollar in my pocket or a slug to my name, my praise and my worship, the Yah gon' always be the same. If I ain't got a dollar in my pocket or a slug to my name, my praise and my worship, the Yah gon' always be the same. It's my Job story. It's my Job story. You ever felt like the king of the hill? Wasn't no coming down, pinky out, sipping on your whiskey, man run my crown. But then it changed in the blink of an eye. Thinking about your past mistakes and all you thinking is why. Like, is it your greed? Is it your pride? Is it your insecurities you feel inside? Nightmares untold, as nightmares come true. It be the ones you lynch for, them same ones hung you. But I gave my bottom dollar to an oct to help his ends meet. But his actions said he ain't care if my kids eat. I'ma help me, cause I wanna be good. This got my engine ticking, and all I know is be hood. This be the pain that I go through, them the stains that I go through. I'm tryna be clean, rearrange what I go through. Failure's a part of growth, and I didn't think I'd meet them. I have stepped a couple times, but now I feel defeated. Energy is depleted, energy playing defense. How could this happen? They said they solid, look up, we beefing. My money in the cement, wifey talking about leaving. Brothers killing my character, but I still get up preaching. Grandma died, man, I'm grieving. Cousin is trying to free me. Even though I'm hurting, I pick up the phone, I know they need me. Man, I pray and I pray and I pray and I'm on my knees. It's like I know I'm alive, but don't feel like I'm breathing. Come on, Abba, I need you. Come on, Abba, I need you. Help me, Abba, I need you. I never turn my back on your worship. I can't cause you worth it. Yeah. If I ain't got a dollar in my pocket or a slug to my name, my praise and my worship, the yard gon' always be the same. If I ain't got a dollar in my pocket or a slug to my name, my praise and my worship, the yard gon' always be the same. It's my Job story. 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 It's my Job story.
Yeah, Travis Sniper.
Already.
Job story. Man.
Job story, man. That whole album
That
is fire, man.
Yeah,
that Vex is off the chain.
If y'all have not heard Vex, you go cop it and get it because it'll bless you.
Yeah, Vex is off the chain. That dude is everything. He's the truth. Yeah, I'll put it like that. Yeah, he's the truth.
A humble minister of music too, man. Just real laid back, real quiet. But when he get in that booth or get on stage, he just as animated as they come. And I love that. I love that his energy and passion that he has for the Most High, man. It's
we got to see about getting them over here on Truth Be Told. We're gonna have to, we're gonna have to try to get them over here. Right about now, if you have not done it, please hit that like button. If you are new, please subscribe and hit that bell button as well. We on a push to try to get 500 before this year end.
We on the road.
Only y'all can help us do it. We on the road. We've been watching the subs grow weekly. So and we give our praises to the Most High, and the thumbs up, the likes help the algorithm that will help this here be shared with other people who might enjoy what it is that we talking about. It's time for the TikTok talk, man. Okay, so I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. I'm not big on social media, man. I would go to Facebook every now and then, so y'all don't get mad at me when y'all see I don't comment on something or don't like something, or y'all done said something to me and it'll be 2 or 3 days later, because that's just not my bag. Okay, I built the Instagram today for the show, and I'm looking at it like for real. 30 minutes I'm looking at it like, okay, so now what do I do with this? You know what I'm saying?
Right. I'm familiar with Facebook, IG, and Twitter.
What do I do with this? So, but Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying I'm familiar with Facebook, IG, and Twitter, but I just recently got on TikTok so I can look for TikTok talks. And bro,
Right.
I'm lost in the sauce. The other day, you even asked me the other day. He was like, one of the videos I put up where I had from the Wonderland album, and I was the picture where I was looking up, to the
Right.
father, and
Right.
you was like, "Hey, is that one of the songs off the album?" I was like, "Man, I don't even know how
Yeah.
that song got on there." Like,
I got on there.
I didn't even know that song was on there. It's some other song.
That's not our generation, man. And it's not that I don't know how to use Facebook. Out of all of them, I do know how to use Facebook. I just don't cruise over there. I'm not in the real estate of Facebook that often, right? You're right. And but I went in today as I was getting ready for the show, and my co-host Ayo Ben Yahoo made me throw a curveball. I had a TikTok talk, and I got to checking out, my missed messages or whatever. And this is what my brother had up there. Y'all check it out. Let's talk about it.
That I'm about to insert is the reason why the black community can't get nowhere. Hold for clip.
This unprofessional. Bro, we got one job, bro. That job is to pull up, get them pictures on.
Listen. That ain't the bro. We in the. This is the real world, man. This the real world. You let them get a tattoo on this goddamn face, man. I told you we gotta be professional, or these people ain't with us no more, man. It's a family company.
We already got the contract.
Yeah, they canceling the contract because he got a tattoo on his face.
Come on, bro.
He got a tattoo. Ain't no
sue them.
Ain't no getting sued,
That's a breach of contract.
That's a break. See, man, that's that bullshit you talking about, man. That's that bull. That's you not trying to hold yourself accountable, man. That's why you went to prison the first bro.
Man, bro,
How about you?
prison have to do with it?
How about you this bro? They complaining about look, man.
What you mean?
Hey, man, I don't want rules, man. I don't make this the real world. If you don't like it, man, give me my shit back. You don't have to work for me.
Like you spent invested $100.
I'll pay you $7,500 for that truck.
Man, it don't matter.
I'll put you in your house to take over. I'll put you in your house and take care of them goddamn
we
kids.
getting the money back? Is we making the money?
Listen, man. It ain't gonna be no money if you can't be a professional. You unprofessional right now, man. You either let him go, you either let your son go, or you can't work for me no more. Let your son go, or you can't work for me no more, man. Learn, let your son go,
Bro, when
or
we
you
go
can't.
to work, bro, we uniformed up. Bro, we
Come on,
talking
man.
professional to these people, bro.
Answer this question. Y'all just coming from dropping a load off, right? Right?
Right.
Like this, right?
Yeah,
Point, man. Keys, man.
man.
Come on,
Keys,
man.
bro.
Yeah. That's what I was introduced to today when I got on there. I was like, yeah, you're right. We're going to talk about that, man. We have, as you see, I just changed the name too just a few minutes ago, no growth in our community, man. The thing that I think that jumped out the most at me is the lack of understanding his brother had all the way around.
Right. Yep.
The lack of understanding he had. This is a business.
Yep.
We're providing a service. Bro, you've been to the pen. And trust me, I know what it's like trying to find jobs with a felon, okay? I know. It's not easy. Not just finding jobs, finding places to live, being able to function. You know what I'm saying? So now you out, you allow your son, and the boy looked like he probably about 13 years old too, Ayob. He looked like he looked young.
Yep.
So you're not even being a correct example for your son. You already in and out of the pen, maybe. Okay, maybe. At least I know you done been once, right? You done come home, instead of you trying to teach, and this is the saying that I have in my house with my kids. Experience is the best teacher, but you don't have to experience everything.
Come on, man.
Right? So instead of you trying to give your son something solid, you out here letting him go put a tattoo on his face. And now you got a problem with your brother because your brother, like, bro, he checking you out of love.
Out of love.
And you can't even understand the words that is coming out of his mouth.
He could have been like, hey, man, get my keys. I'm done with both of you. Don't come back unless you ain't got him with you. And it could have been that. But he took the time out. Yeah, he was animated. He was elevated. And I think, you know, in this case, this is probably not the first time that he's been like, look, cuz, no, we can't, that ain't the move.
Right.
That ain't the move. This probably not the first time, so this is probably why he was animated. Because you can see, it looked like it was probably early in the morning. They was probably just did their first load, and while they was there and got back, Big Boy got the phone call. Hey, listen, I know we signed a contract, and it's worth so many $100,000 for the next 2 years, but I just don't know if we want to keep working with you. Well, why? What? Well, what is the little kid he working with that the new guy? He got a tattoo on his face. We can't be letting our clients in our office see that. That's what else he supposed to do? Just let it ride? Accountability, growth. He said, I'm sorry. One more thing.
No. Finish. Finish.
What the one term that got me? He said, "Why does that matter about the contract?" He's like, "We got the contract.
We got the contract. See,
we got the contract. So that means your mind still has no growth." And the second thing the one thing that stuck out was, and it goes with what Miss Mono just said, just walk his kid down the wrong path. You know what this man said? How am I going to turn my back on my son?
That's what I was going to get to.
Oh, you already have.
That's exactly what I was going to get to.
You let him get the tattoo.
Exactly.
You already turned your back.
Exactly.
This rap culture trying to be like Soulja Boy and Little Uzi Vert. Man, that little boy couldn't be no more than 15 years old.
That was a kid, man.
That was a kid. On the side,
that was a kid.
Got a summer job, school.
That's right.
Back. Yeah, bro.
That was a kid. That one there got me too, man. Paul said in 1 Corinthians 13:11, he said, when I was a child, I spake as a child. He said, and I understood as a child. He said, I thought as a child, but when I became a man, I put away childish things. His brother never put away childish things. I was just talking to one of my kids. I forget which one it was, man. I was just talking to them. I was like, look, man, just because you this big and your age is this number, that don't mean that you are a man. That don't mean that you are a man. You see what I'm saying? A real man know how to think. A real man know how to reason. A real man know how to nourish. A real man know how to cultivate. This is what real men do. And this brother here, this is a child that is trying to raise a child. And when he got checked, he didn't understand the checking. And just like you said, when he said, how am I supposed to turn my back on my child? Bro, not only your child that you turned your back on, you turned your back on your brother too. Your brother went out on a limb to make sure that you are employed.
Because like you said, he went to prison, he got a felony. You probably done been frustrated because you done probably job hunted all month long in the hot sun, in the fall, in the winter, the snow, applications online, and nobody gave you a chance.
Nobody gave you a chance.
Now your brother.
So not only do you have a chance, you got a truck.
You got a truck. He invested money.
He talking about, so what you acting like you're $100,000 or something. What? Come on, man.
What? Bruh, that.
Give me my keys. Run me my keys.
Run me my keys.
Run me my keys.
You'll get your next paycheck for what you done work.
Let me tell you about these tattoos, man. True story. Just happened to me today. I called my wife while I was so hot. I go to Chipotle today to eat lunch. When I walked through the door, Pasadena police was up in there. There's about 6 of them sitting up in that joint, right? Mm-hmm. I walked through the door. One of them's looking at me, and I'm looking at him. And we looked at each other so long to the point that he decided to give me a head nod. So I gave him a head nod too. Went on about my business. Got my food, went sit down. I'm sitting there minding my business, looking at YouTube, looking at podcasts on YouTube, eating my Chipotle, and I can see them steady looking at me because they over there to my right over here. I see these jokers, man, looking at me the whole time I'm eating, but I ain't tripping. Got my bucket hat on, got my big dark glasses on, minding my business, right? They keep getting up, walking past me, I ain't tripping. One get up, walk past me, go back, sit down. One get up, walk past me, go sit down. One of them decide that he finna come over there and talk to me, and I seen him. I put my hands on my head. I guess they got some kind of wager over there. I said, can I ask you a question? We got like a little wager over here about gang tattoo recognitions. Would you mind if you come over here, man, so we can settle this here? I looked at him, man, I was like, I lie to you not, this happened to me today. I look at him, I'm like, nah, man, I'm not gonna play these games with you, man. He said, come on, man. He said, I'm not gonna tell the other cats what you told me. Just tell me. He say, what gang you with? What gang you with? You can tell me. Bruh. You the GDs, right? I looked at him, man. I just shook my head, man. I'm not playing these games with you, man. You know what I'm saying? Bro say, so you're not gonna come out? I said, no. Right? Then he asked me, say, where you from? So I told him where I was from. I said, I'm from Dallas. My wife was like, you shouldn't have told him nothing. But this is what I told my wife. I said, I told him where I was from because as a black man, I know that situation could have went from 0 to 100 real quick.
Real quick. Real quick.
From 0 to 100 real quick.
Why you ain't telling me where you're from? What do you have to hide?
You see what I'm saying?
That would have been the next statement.
That would have been the next statement. Yeah. So he went on about his way. I sit there and I politely finished eating my food, got my stuff up, threw it away, walked right past him as if they never did look back over there. And it wasn't no fear or nothing like that. I'm not playing any games with y'all. Why did that conversation come about? Because of tattoos that I bear on my body. And here you got a brother that done started a business, done lace you up, done brought your son in. This could be a generational thing, and you mad at him because he checked you because you let your son go get a tattoo on his face. Fire your son, man.
Right. That's as a father, that's when you have to explain, son, sometimes our choices in life brings about consequences. I shouldn't approve you getting a tattoo because you're young enough to where you can't get a tattoo without one of your parents. I should have told your mother not to let it happen. But now that you've done that, you're not gonna be able to be employed.
Exactly.
Conversation
that's the tough. Exactly.
He'll learn from that. He'll understand. Exactly. Right, okay.
Exactly. You know how many jobs he gonna miss out because of a tattoo on his face? You ain't Mike Tyson. You ain't famous.
Right. You ain't famous. Got millions in the bank, bro. And like I said, me and you was talking about this earlier.
Can't do it like that.
This rap culture, Soulja Boy, Lil Wayne, Lil Uzi Vert, all them boys, Kodak Black. Well, why can I get one like that? They rich. They rich. They ain't got to go fill out a job application and go to. They rich. But the police officer, you out of pocket for that, bruh.
Nah, yeah, they were way out of pocket for that, man. Boy, I was hot, boy. Man, I called my wife, man, say, man, hey.
You out of pocket.
Yeah, I was hot, bro. You know what I'm saying?
You had every right to be called. And see, that stuff like that, we got a little wager. See, that stuff they do all the time. Like I said, they always slip up and show their culture. They always slip up and show what they do every day. They probably always make wagers. I'm going to pull over 3 people today, or I'm going to pull over 5. I bet you lunch.
Exactly, man. Yes. One time I got stopped here. I got stopped here in the town that I live in, and I had a warrant for some tickets. So they took me on in, right? Bro, I'm sitting up in the jail cell listening to these jokers talk amongst themselves. Oh, I done stopped 5 people tonight. Oh, I stopped this. You know, that's what they do. That's what they do. You know what I'm saying? That's what they do, man. So so that's the TikTok talk for tonight. I want to thank my man Ayo for that one. When I saw that, I was like, oh yeah. We finna switch it up.
Yeah, my brother Ezra posted that on Facebook, and I tagged Sheer because I was like, we gotta do this one. I didn't expect it tonight, though.
Good.
We did it because it's happening in our community, and it's good we can talk about it.
Yeah, this is and it's just like the lady said, this is why we can't grow in our community, man. When you look at other nations, I want to say this, so we can move on. You look at other nations build together. They build together, man. You say what you want to say about the essays. Say, man, an essay for real to have. We laugh at it, but say what they doing is kind of genius. They'll have 3 or 4, 5 families living in one house, man, but they don't always stay in the house.
Right.
And when they leave, what they gonna do? They gonna buy a house on the same street. So before you realize it, you got a whole street. You got a whole street of the same family.
Yep. They'll have everybody moving off that street.
Everybody moving off of that street.
Everybody leaving.
You see?
Yeah, they stick together.
We can't do that.
Yeah, we get emotional and get in our feelings and make a decision out of our emotions to make us feel better, and it just keep perpetrating. It just keep cycles.
Exactly.
It just keep.
And it just keep. Exactly. We either get emotional or you gonna have somebody who don't want to pay their way, and you gotta call it out. You know what I'm saying? You gotta. You ain't finna live up in here rent free, or you ain't buying no food, but you eating up all the food, or you. Every time you leaving all the lights on in the house. You know what I'm saying? You gotta call it out. Ain't paid the bill yet. But you working.
But you working. I'm letting you stay with me till you get on your feet. You got all the lights on. Every room you leave got a light on. You got oodles and noodles in the microwave, the refrigerator open, stove, oven, got a pot pie in the oven, all at the same time.
All at the same time.
But if I ask you for a couple dollars on the lights, you get upset.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And why we can't move forward, it go back to Deuteronomy 28, y'all.
Deuteronomy 28.
You go back to Deuteronomy 28. What we got? We got our third music break. Let's get it. Then we got our topic, our next topic.
Let's get it. No Compromise, featuring Jada Aquan.
My bad.
Oh, you good out?
We tripping.
Witness, son of man, bring it back again, once again. Round and round we go, no, we can't pretend to shut them in. See it in we eyes, no compromise, yes, do it, die. Feed the children, rise. Witness, son of man, bring it back again, once again. Round and round we go, no, we can't pretend to shut them in. See it in we eyes, no compromise, yes, do it, die. Feed the children, rise.
I don't do this for likes, man, I don't care if they applaud me. Cause many clap in public, but secretly disregard me. I'm hardly impressed, please don't prop me up like kickstands. I'ma stand my ground with society's just like quicksand. So here and now, I'm here to lift brothers from sunken places who think they gaining running rap races, yet run in place. And let them know that greater will come, don't grow impatient. Despite how everything looks at Jason, just keep faith and don't be moved or easily shaken. Sorta like an etch-a-sketch, I stay well prepared like an extra set of whatever's needed, but please believe you can miss me with that nonsense. I done lost a lot in this life, except my conscience.
Witness, son of man, bring it back again, once again. Round and round we go, no, we can't pretend to shut them in. See it in we eyes, no compromise, yes, do it, die. Feed the children, rise. Witness, son of man, bring it back again, once again. Round and round we go, no, we can't pretend to shut them in. See it in we eyes, no compromise, yes, do it, die. Feed the children, rise.
See, I done travel coast to coast, my people, but I'm no space ghost. I'm trying to get that Moses anointing, wanna see my face glow and enter my old hood with desires to be fertilizer. I just try to plant abundance of seeds, wanna see that place grow. You sleep on y'all so narcoleptic, pseudo-spiritual, burnt incense, now they are eclectic. Give them organic food for thought and they are rejected. Oh, nothing in this world but my conscience, that's all I'm left with. Fortunately, fortune and fame ain't my interest. Liberate the minds of my people, that's the intent. Show them what our ancestors broke and then repentance. I'm just trying to push the word forward like it ended. That's how the story goes. Go against the grain like sickles, you end up on lonely roads. Hope you know the harvest has been plentiful, but laborers are few. Get your spirit and your mind right, the laborers are you.
Witness, son of man, bring it back again, once again. Round and round we go, no, we can't pretend to shut them in. See it in we eyes, no compromise, yeah, it's do or die. Feed the children, rise. Witness, son of man, bring it back again, once again. Round and round we go, no, we can't pretend to shut them in. See it in we eyes, no compromise, yeah, it's do or die. Feed the children, rise.
Yeah, we back. We back. That was a Mirror Rider.
Yeah.
That was my boy Mirror Rider, man. We got a bang on Wonderland, boy. Man, we got a bang on Wonderland, bro.
Is that right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I sent it to him. He laced it up. But yeah, that was hot right there. That was a Mirror Rider and Jada Alcuin. Yeah,
Okay.
man, we got a bang on Wonderland. I can't wait.
Yeah, I can't, man. I
Can't wait to
can't
y'all
wait to
hear
this
it, man.
Wonderland. Yeah, yeah. Can't wait,
But
can't
yeah, that
wait,
was
can't
nice right there.
wait.
That was nice right
Man, my whole laptop went out. I was
I was
just, it
about to
just
say,
went
ain't know what
blue.
happened. I was like, man, I done ran my man off. What's going on?
Nah, I was like, man, what happened? I'm jamming, and all of a sudden, the screen it just went blue on me, man.
I
So
say, where
I
it go?
started pushing buttons, and nothing came back. So I turned it off, turned it back on. We back here though,
While
so
we
we
talking, let me make sure
good.
mine don't run
Right.
out of power. Let me plug mine up.
Yeah, that Joker just went all blue, man. But yeah, we are back. Let me do one thing before we go to this next story. Ba, 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 do, do, do. Let me see here. Let me see here. We got
We got
hold on, I get it in a minute. Let's go ahead and go. Yeah, I get it in a minute. All right, so what we got, man? This next topic, we got Maui, right?
yeah, man. We got Maui
Maui
is
is
one for
not for
sale.
sale.
Woo, 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 woo.
Maui is
I
not for sale. Survivors say
man,
developers want to buy land where their homes once stood. What you got out?
man. So we were talking about the Hawaii, the Maui, and the actual little island or little city. It's called Lahaina. So Lahaina has been under colonialism for the last couple hundred years. Um, Even though they didn't come a part of the United States for later on, just recently, I'm 45 years old, so it's been more recent than that. Um, so
Right.
Oprah is catching some backlash. Don't know if y'all heard. It was a later development later on today or this afternoon. So Oprah visited. She's catching backlash. Y'all know the whole Biden's getting $700 together for them. These folks just went through a whole devastating fire where people was had to go get in the water to get away from the fire. People they still looking for people. My prayers go out to those families that haven't found some of their family members. I know I work with a guy that he is from there, and some of his family members they cannot locate. She just purchased 870 acres for $6.6 million. I just wanted to throw that out there for you start out. That's kind of cynical. Folks still dying and looking for
I,
people, and you just go over there and visit, smiling at everybody, handing out tissue and stuff, and you just bought some land, 870 acres. I think that's a little inconsiderate, to say the least.
right. Did she purchase this land? Did she purchase this land after the fires, like here recently,
That's
or was
from
she
what?
already in the
From what?
process of purchasing it? But even with that, with the way that they the way that they do business though,
Right,
even if she was
right.
in the makers of doing it, hey, you know how many executives didn't go to work on 9/11?
That's the point. If she made this purchase 3, 4, 5 months ago, like, was the economy over there doing good, but they stripping it off down so we can now do great? Apparently, The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, also bought some land. So who else has bought land? Like you said, on 9/11, it was prominent people that they told don't fly. So now they saying, hey, buy this land because it's
Right.
870 acres for 6.6 mil. After we do what we gonna do after this happens, it's gonna be 70 mil. Your value is gonna go up because we're gonna rebuild, and people are gonna
Exactly.
tourists from all over the world will be coming just like
Right.
they are now, but more and more once they rebuild. the 15-minute city that they're talking about. But go ahead, Doc. I just wanted to preface that. I just throw that in there.
Right.
That was a
It's
development that happened later on this afternoon. Yeah, crazy man.
man, my computer just did it again. I don't know what's going on. I can't see
Oh,
anything. Can you see me?
yeah, I can see you. I can see y'all.
Can you
I
see
can
me?
see and hear you. Yep, I can see you.
Okay, well I can hear you, but I can't see you. My computer just went blue again. So I
Really?
can't read the article.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Yeah, it just went blue on me again, man.
Okay.
So um,
Okay.
go ahead and read that article. I'm gonna reboot and I'm gonna come right back so we can get into it,
Okay.
man.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
go
Yeah. Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is a USA Today article, guys, and it says Maui is not for sale. Survivors say developers want to buy land where their homes once stood. Um, Now this was published to August 15th, which was Tuesday at 4:41 a.m. in the morning. So everybody know about the recent fires that if you don't know, like the island of Lahana or Kahului and Maui is just devastated. I don't have a pic up to show you guys, but it is absolutely devastated. Like we said before, it looks like a nuclear bomb hit it. Um, so the recent fires over there, Oprah visited today, doing some stuff over there, handing out necessities. She went over there to visit, and she didn't necessarily receive the warmest welcome. I'll say that they didn't really uh receive her with open arms. Some was kind of, liked it that she was there. They didn't love it. Some hated. They thought it was a bad PR move because they like, why is a celebrity from the United States visiting over here and we over here going through it. But this article written by India Yancey Brad says Tamikalu Kalilu's home of 20 years burned to the ground. People she knows burned in the fire too. Less than a week later, she said she got a Facebook message from someone in real estate. Residents have been warning each other on social media that developers may try to buy their land. So Callie Luau ignored it. She said, "Why are they doing that? People burn in the fire," she said on Monday. She said, "It's hard. It's really, really tough. It's rough," she added. Many Maui residents are mourning the loss of their homes and adamantly pledging to stay put after this after the devastation. They say the government should have just said no. You're not allowed to develop. He said one of the guys said on Monday. Just flat out no. But the government is kind of the people are upset because the government is kind of staying back and kind of chilling while these developers are calling people so they can build. And that's why Oprah is getting this backlash now because she may not be a developer, but I'm sure the developers they may have some money stored up. That's how development works. They have some money, but then they'll have these dinners. Y'all know the movies. They have these fundraisers where they go in these suit and ties and these dinners where they go and dance and they get these awards and these plates for a food be like 7 grand, where they have caviar and all that stuff, like 7, 8, 9, 10 grand. They have different packages. 7 grand, 10 grand, and 15 grand, and then 30 grand is the VIP platinum package. That money goes to developing cities and land. Because somebody has to actually pay the people to get the bulldozer to knock all these burnt trees down, smooth everything out, turn the land over, and then buy the brick and the mortar and the wood and the glass windows to start building. So these developers are already on it. Like I said, these people are mourning. The lady was like, "Man, I've been living here for 20 years. I got family missing, and you ringing my phone talking about you want to buy this land and develop." Let's keep going. It says Hawaii Governor Josh Green said he's
Right.
reached out to the state's attorney general to explore the possibility of imposing a moratorium on sales of damaged or destroyed properties. Green said the fire destroyed more than 2,200 structures 86% of which are residential. That means 8 out of 10 structures are houses where people like us actually live, not a business, not a movie theater, not the YMCA, but an actual home where people are raising their families. It said, moreover, I would caution people that it's going to be a very long time before any growth or housing will be built. He said, you will be pretty you will be pretty poorly informed if you try to steal land from our people and then build here. The governor's words don't seem to have deterred developers yet, according to locals. Once again, we're getting the reporting. This article's from USA Today. We're getting reporting from all over. We're digging from sources that are reporting on it. But like the article is saying, what about the locals? What about people that have built their lives there? Like I said, I work with a guy that has family over there that they cannot locate. And he said from what they have, the people that he's talked to, it doesn't look good. And you got developers. You got Oprah and The Rock visiting. 10 acres, 870. It ain't like they got 14 acres and said, well, we're going to help these families build. I'm going to donate $1 million to every family, because she got the money to do that. She got billions. Instead, you're going to buy up land to develop it. Man, this is crazy. Did it come back up for y'all? Can you see it now?
I'm good.
Okay, go ahead. I just wanted that. Yeah, I'm stopping right there where the governor was talking about deterring the developers. But like I just read, according to the locals, they say the government, and on TV, the media is reporting the government not doing anything. The governor may say we want to deter the developers, but are you really? They still making phone calls. They making plans. Y'all. This is you want to talk about the love of many shall wax cold. Like we talk about that on this podcast. Like that's what that is. That's just not caring at all.
Yeah, from the very start, I was telling my wife, I said they burnt down Maui. That's what I was telling my wife, and I said, I don't know how they did it. I said, but they burnt down Maui. Oxify sent me a TikTok of Maui, and it's looking like it was getting hit by lasers. I sent it to Ayob as well, right? And I was actually going to use that for a video tonight, but I was like, I don't want to, have too many videos going on tonight, right? But matter of fact, if I can, I'm gonna put it in the description, and that way you guys can look at it yourself. But yeah, this is not anything new though, okay? In how they function. I don't know if I was telling Ayob about the scenario, but I know I told Safi, and I also told my wife. I watch westerns. I'm a huge western watcher. I love westerns, right? And anybody that watch westerns know that what we seeing here in Hawaii is the same thing that they did when the West was built. Yep. You got a family that's on a plot of land, and the government say, hey, we gonna run a railroad through here. We'll offer you $500 for that land. Mm-hmm. And the man of that land be like, no, we not leaving. They be like, okay, and they ride off. Right. And then they'll come back maybe 2 weeks later. Well, $500 was kind of low. So we're willing to go up to $1,000. Mm-hmm. The owner of that land say, no, this is my land and I'm staying. They'll ride off again. And they may come back with another offer, $1,500. And what the owner say again, no. The next time that owner see them people, they coming by 8 deep, hoods on their heads.
Yep.
And they kill everybody on that land, including the dog.
Yep.
Why? Because they wanted that land. So now here we go. We talking about smart cities. We talking about efficient cities. We talking about green cities. We talking about 15-minute cities. What a grand time to do that in Maui.
It's how the old folks say, it's ripe for the picking.
It's right for the picking.
Yeah, it's sad, man.
It's right for the picking. I mean, you know, we not this to be able to just go in there and tell the people, the residents of Maui, that we gonna take over the land, right? So what we gonna do is, okay, so I'm 50 years old. How old you say you are, Ayo?
45.
You 45.
45.
I've been looking at the news, and because this is hurricane season, right? And so I've been paying a close attention to the Gulf of Mexico. I've never seen so many hurricanes off to the west going through the Pacific Ocean before in my life. Every time I watch the news, it's another hurricane going out in the west, off the coast of the west, out in the Pacific, going towards Hawaii. Now, none of them has hit Hawaii, but that was one of the causes. If you paid attention to the story, you always got to be a scapegoat, right? So who was the scapegoat in this? The electric company. What did they do? They left the power lines on in strong winds. So therefore, they're going to blame the electric company for the wildfires that's there in Hawaii because they didn't deactivate the power poles, the lines. You see what I'm saying? And so the strong winds, which I'm sure was residue from a hurricane that went there. I've never, and I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, somebody tell me, but I cannot recall any hurricanes in the Pacific, and especially that many that go that way. Most hurricanes come from Africa through the Caribbeans.
Through the Atlantic, yep.
Exactly, through the Atlantic. So I know right now, I've seen at least 3 or 4 hurricanes in the Pacific. Where are they coming from? Right. Even if the power lines did do that. So like I say, they not going to tell the people why, hey, we going to come in and we just going to take this land. You know what I'm saying? So what they do? They burn it down. They burn it down. Now, we just got through talking about the dollar being losing value, right? That's a whole nother infrastructure right there. There's more money that needs, whatever they do to it, there's more money that need to be printed, yo.
That's it. That's it. Print more money.
It's more money that needs to be printed.
Yep.
So now you talking about Oprah buying land over there. The Rock is over there. You know, I haven't heard, but I'm more than sure Bill Gates got his hands over there as well.
You know it. You know it. No, he got his hand in it. No, he.
Because I just couldn't understand, and I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer by far, right? But I just couldn't understand how could an island that's surrounded by water catch fire like that?
Yeah, bro. Yeah. It really makes the laser look like, yeah, something had to come from that sky and burn that stuff up because it happened kind of quick. You know, like Yamay just said, she said this reminds me of Ahab and Nathan and the vineyard.
Right.
And it's crazy. You say we just read about Yehu, he rode and pretty much took down Jezreel and, you know, northern and southern Judah, Ahaziah and Joram, you know, in 2 Kings 9. And Ahab and Jezebel, even though Ahab was killed in battle before that, Jezebel, they pushed her out the window. This was years later. So killing the prophets and having Elijah on the run, they thought they had got away with it.
Exactly.
So that bloodshed, that blood that was shed, y'all, it will be dealt with.
It's going to be dealt with.
It's going to be dealt with. And the fact that y'all over there,
it's going to be
like
dealt
the article
with.
is saying, he says Mark Steffel, 67, said he too has been approached by developers, and the offer felt like being hit while he was down. How do you? Man, these are people that's lost their homes and their families. And that man was like, man, I'm 67 years old. And the developer has reached out. Like, how cynical can you be?
That's the same thing they did in New Orleans. And we was just talking about that, man. After Katrina, the people that's right now benefiting in New Orleans are not New Orleans.
They're not from there, not born and raised there. Right. Right.
You know?
Right.
That's the exact same thing. This here is nothing but another form of regentrification. That's all this is, man. And then, you know, and I believe when my computer was, you know, was acting crazy, Ayo was giving a little history of America and Hawaii. America and Hawaii has never really had a friendly relationship to begin with.
Always been
and if you think that it's beyond America to kill people, me and my son was just talking about it the other day. This the same country that dropped a bomb on a whole nation just to prove a point.
Just right. Just to prove a point.
Just to prove a point. So it's not beyond them to do you see what I'm saying to burn up the island.
It's not beyond them to burn up a whole island, bro. Just to rebuild, like you said, New Orleans, Haiti, the earthquake, the Clintons, they after that earthquake in Haiti years ago, they was buying land up left and right because they knew they're gonna rebuild.
Right, they're gonna rebuild.
They're gonna rebuild.
So what's gonna happen is right now, you know, everybody know insurance companies work for the government, right? Okay, if you didn't, now you know. Insurance companies work for the government. Right. So what's gonna happen is insurance companies gonna be slow paying out. Mm-hmm. They're not gonna tell the people they're not gonna pay out. They're just gonna be real slow paying out, and the government is gonna be slow in efforts and help. Yep. So what's gonna happen is the people gonna become frustrated, and they gonna be like, "I'm just gonna leave." Yep. That's what's gonna happen. Now you gotta understand, we talking about a group of people who can print money. They ain't gotta make the money. Right. So they got time to wait. They can wait it out. Right. That island can look like that forever. That's why you never want to get into a legal debate with a big corporation. Why? Because your money not long enough. They can litigate that thing forever. You eventually gonna run out of money and they not. Right. And so you got these people over here that's praying that insurance do what they supposed to do. I've been paying for insurance, and this is how cold insurance companies is. Y'all probably didn't even have fire coverage.
Fire coverage. You probably had flood because you live around water. So
right.
It's more possible or plausible to get the house destroyed by water. You
right.
Lightning coverage from storm. Right. But you didn't have the fire coverage.
Or if they had fire coverage, they didn't have natural disaster fire coverage.
Right. Or what they call what we call here is an act of God.
Right.
Because if an act of God happens, then you're covered. But you didn't sign up for it.
You know,
crazy. Boy, I'll tell you, boy.
They'll do it. They'll do it.
It's like, and then, like you're saying, the point he's making, y'all, it's like, the locals are going to get the insurance is going to be slow. They're going to be dragging their feet. So the government's like, all right, the $275,000 you paid for this 5 beautiful acres in Hawaii, we're going to go ahead and give you $770,000 right now.
Right.
You can move that, take that. That's almost $1 million. You frustrated. You've been over here for 8 months struggling. You didn't bury family members. You ready to get this behind you. You're probably going to take, I'm not saying that the locals would do this. I'm not making light of this situation. I'm just painting a scenario to land back on what Sheer is saying. They're going to get frustrated. They'll take the $770,000 and move to the United States.
Right.
The United States or whoever,
to the mainland.
To the mainland. And now they're making $30 million the first year after it's developed from the tourist attractions.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Like how?
Right.
Like, man, that's tough.
Right. That's right.
And that's the plan.
Hawaii can be the model of what these smart cities look like. Right. It could be the model of what an energy efficient city is supposed to look like, a whole green city. Hawaii can be that, that model. And so when people go over there to visit, because when they get rebuilt to however it is that they want to build it, people gonna go over there. The first thing they're gonna say is that we need this over here on the mainland. And this is the thing too, you gotta understand that if what we are saying is correct, which I do believe that it is correct, they not done with destroying cities. More cities are going to be destroyed. Why? Because they have to develop.
They have to develop, y'all. Gentrification.
They have to develop.
Gentrification.
You know? So I mean, and this is the time that we living in. These the people that we messing with. These the people that we live up under. So hey, you know, I feel bad for all of those families. The last I checked, it was up to 90 something deaths.
98 deaths. I think it may be even higher now.
Right.
And
I don't think they're going to reach the number that they was afraid that they was going to reach. All praises for that.
Yeah. It's tough, man. It's tough. I mean, when I seen that image of how destroyed it was, and I was like, man, it looked like they dropped a bomb on it. Then I seen people actually jumping in the water to escape the flames.
Yes.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah. And it's so, you know, we hear stuff like that, because I ain't gonna even lie. When I first saw the article, people jumping in the water to save their lives in Hawaii, you know, I didn't immediately go to the article to read it. And because, and this is how we are in America, when it's not something that's in our backyard, it don't affect us directly. You see what I'm saying? An earthquake can happen in California, and we'll look at it on the news and we'll be like, man, that's terrible. You know what I'm saying? It don't be a tearjerker or heart wrenching until it's in your own neighborhood.
That's it.
Until it's happening to you. When you go through that hurricane, or when you have that tornado, or when you have that earthquake, you know what I'm saying? And so these people, I couldn't imagine right now. You had people over there that was vacationing. You had people that were over there that was vacationing. They went on vacation to Maui for a vacation and saw, you know what I'm saying, saw hell first hand. I don't know no other way of saying it. That was hell. Can you imagine that? That was fire. You know, I saw an apartment building burn one time that was across the street from the apartments that I stayed in. And I tell you, I was no less than 50, 70 feet, maybe even more than that from the fire. The apartment's burning. I felt the heat.
You feel that heat. And you can feel that heat.
I felt the heat. So I can imagine what it was feeling like. And then fire sucks out oxygen too, so it's hard to breathe.
Yeah, man. That's some scary. That's like, and the fact that, okay, say boom, everything has calmed down, they got it under control. Now you don't have anything.
Nothing.
The
Nothing.
house, everything that was inside the house, everything that's even the ground that you bought, the land that you paid for to have the house built, that is now gone. Now that land is scorched. It's gone.
Like you said, it's right. It's right now, man, because fire also cleansed. So, you know, that whole land has now been, it's scorched.
And now they saying, hey, let's rebuild. Let's put new grass down. Let's put a building on. Like, it's crazy. Think about how, capitalism. That's capitalism at its
That's
finest.
capitalism at its finest. All praises. That's the best way to end this, man. That is, you are exactly right. Let's get to this buy sell and let's get ready to get up out of here. You are exactly right, Ayo. Yeah, let's get this buy sell. Here we go.
Whatever you pour into your children, there's no return check on that. They don't owe you for that. If they don't get up and if they don't go up and do nothing for you, they don't owe you nothing. They didn't ask to come here. Your children are a result of your choices. So they don't owe you nothing. You owe it to them to make sure they are better than you.
Charleston White.
Buy sell.
I know, Charleston White, he don't always be dropping gems, but I had to buy it. and I buy it due to the fact that he's right. We have to teach our children are a product of us, right? Now that's not saying. Let me put this disclaimer: they may not do everything we teach them. They may not do everything perfect and right, but with my children, what I've learned, like he was saying, the time that I've invested and spent with them and in them, now that I'm older, I can see how they have how they are still growing up and how the ones that are grown have grown up. They may not be perfect, but they're better than what I was at this
Facts.
age.
Facts.
So that's why he dropped right there. I
That was
buy
a
it.
gem.
He's dropping gems because that's what I now see.
Yep.
That things that I instill, when they were, Mahalik and McCall, they're 23 and 22 years old when they were babies. I was 20, 21, 22 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Barely knew anything myself. Thought I knew it.
Mm-hmm.
But then when I got
Mm-hmm.
older, Tari and Roman, they're 15 and 13 now, about to be 16 and 14. Kingsley's 6. So now I'm able to kind of see, like, okay, the Most High is good. Wow, thank you for
Exactly.
allowing me to see where I messed up and what they're doing better than I was. So yeah,
That's
I owe
right.
it to them to teach
Right.
them right. Yeah, y'all made the fruits. We owe it to them. They don't. They
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and then it's gonna recycle and be just like teaching the word. We didn't know it when I was their age, but now they know it.
Right.
So now when their babies are born, their husbands can teach and their wives can teach them
Right.
their babies. See what I'm saying? So
Right.
that's how you reciprocate it. And that's how the culture is passed down for generation to generation to generation. So I buy it. I
Yeah,
buy it,
I
man.
buy I buy it as well, and everything that you said was spot on, man. And I was talking to an individual not long ago who was talking about my kids, man, because when you said that they better than you now at the age that they are when you was at that age,
Mm-hmm.
bruh. Man, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. If my kids was anything like I was at the age that they are right now, I don't
Man.
know if I'd be able to handle it. You
Oh,
dig what I'm saying?
yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you, man. Either they be dead, or I be in jail, or
Yeah.
I be crazy, or what? You know what I'm saying? It just wouldn't have worked. Which means that he's right. They don't owe us anything. They didn't ask to be here.
Exactly.
First and foremost. Our children are a result of our actions with whomever it is that you have kids with, right? A result of our actions. Fact. Now that they're here, we got a job. We have a responsibility to make them better people than we were, than we are, you know?
That's it.
And so that one right there, yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
He came right with that one. That definitely was a gem that he had. I buy that wholeheartedly. And you got parents out here that for real feel like that they kids owe them, man. You know,
Yep. Yep. You do. And it's sad.
you got
Sad.
parents out here to make their kids feel like that they owe them, man. So, but yeah, with that being said, that is tonight's show. I want to thank
Yeah.
everybody for rolling with us,
Yeah,
being
man.
with us. We'll be back next week.
Yeah, man.
This month we got
Oh man.
Shanayim.
Yeah, Shanae.
Yeah.
You
Thank
ain't
you,
this
thank
month.
you.
Oh
I
no, you
told you I ain't been practicing.
and, and
Shanayim.
shouts out to them. They are celebrating their anniversary this
Facts.
week, man. Beautiful
Beautiful
couple.
couple.
Got a
Beautiful
chance
couple.
to spend some time with them at the F3 Family Fest, and they're gonna sit down with me at the end of the month on our back to back, and then be on the show the very next day. We got them coming up. Man, we got Solemn Prophet coming up. We got Monologue
Right.
My God gonna talk about this album when it dropped coming up.
Right.
We also got
Right.
the Mirror Israel gonna be on the show. Lahat, Big Aki Yaran. So yeah, these next few months.
Yeah.
Woo! So that's why I say y'all it's important. The road to 500 subscribers. Please,
Please.
please,
Yep.
please, please share it. Tell the people to subscribe because we got the word is going forth, and we're thankful. All praise to the Most High, man. We, the the Most High's blessing channeling the
Facts.
show, and we're grateful.
Exactly. And I think we got the best. I think we got the best family in all of YouTube
family,
too.
man.
We got the
appreciate
best
that,
family in all of YouTube. So we thank y'all. We don't have a going out song tonight. So with that being said, we just want to say shalom. We'll see y'all right back here next Wednesday. Don't forget tomorrow, Miss Mono.
Yes.
My Boaz don't want your ass. I just like saying that title. You know what I'm saying?
Title is dope in itself. Why Boaz don't want your ass?
You know what I'm saying?
Now what?
Exactly.
Now what?
Shalom, fam. Shalom.